Welcome back to the channel. Before we set foot on a world that existed more than 250 million years ago, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment below. Tell us, if you had the chance to time travel, which prehistoric era would you want to explore first? Now, prepare yourself for a journey into the Permian period, an age of extremes where life expanded to new heights, but also faced the greatest catastrophe in Earth's history. About 252 million years ago, Earth was teetering on the edge of annihilation. The oceans grew dangerously warm. Oxygen in the water dropped to suffocating levels, and volcanic gases shrouded the atmosphere. On land and at sea, entire ecosystems crumbled. Dominant species fell one after another, unable to cope with the rapidly shifting world. This was the end Permian mass extinction, the most devastating event life on Earth had ever faced. More than 90% of species were lost. But to understand how life reached that breaking point, we must look further back to when the Permian was still a thriving, dynamic world. At the dawn of the Permian, Earth's continents were colliding into one colossal landmass, the supercontinent known as Pangaea. Its northern section was called Laurasia, and its southern half Gondwana. Together, Pangaea stretched across nearly a third of Earth's surface, wrapped in a single immense ocean called Panthalassa. But Pangaea wasn't a paradise. With so much land fused together, vast areas of the interior lay far from the moderating influence of the sea. Rain rarely reached these regions. Year by year, they dried out, transforming forests and swamps into deserts and arid plains. Only the hardiest plants and animals could adapt to these new extremes. For millions of years, humid wetlands had been dominated by ferns, lycophytes, and horsetails. But as the world became hotter and drier, these moisture-loving plants struggled. Their decline opened the door for newcomers, plants designed to withstand the heat. Conifers and seed-bearing plants, equipped with thick leaves and water-conserving adaptations, began to spread across the interior of Pangaea. These plants didn't just survive. They flourished, reshaping landscapes and creating new opportunities for the creatures that fed on them. Back in the Carboniferous period, small lizard-like animals called amniotes scurried through forests. They laid tough, protective eggs, freeing them from dependence on water for reproduction. This evolutionary advantage set the stage for their dominance in the Permian. Amniotes soon split into two powerful lineages: sauropsids, ancestors of reptiles, crocodiles, and dinosaurs; synapsids, the ancestors of mammals and the real rulers of the Permian. The Permian world belonged to the synapsids. These animals diversified into countless forms, from small insect hunters to massive plant eaters and terrifying predators. Among them, a subgroup known as therapsids rose to prominence. Some therapsids, like dicynodonts, were large, tusked herbivores with beak-like mouths, grazing on the spread of conifers and seed plants. Others, like the fearsome gorgonopsians, were apex predators, equipped with saber-like teeth and muscular bodies capable of bringing down even the largest prey. By the late Permian, therapsids had evolved into advanced forms called cynodonts. These creatures had differentiated teeth, efficient jaws, and possibly even fur-covered bodies. They were the direct precursors of mammals, carrying the seeds of traits we still recognize in ourselves today. Compared to the dominant synapsids, sauropsids struggled in many ecosystems. Yet they weren't entirely overshadowed. Some carved out niches in the changing world. One striking example was Prehistoric, a bulky, armored herbivore with strange, knobby skulls and teeth designed for shredding fibrous plants. Alongside them lived early archosauromorphs, such as Proterosaurus. Slender and long-necked, Proterosaurus stretched about 2 meters in length and resembled an elongated monitor lizard. Though not a direct ancestor of today's lizards, its name fittingly means first lizard. The Permian wasn't just about reptiles and synapsids. Insects and arthropods also thrived. Evolving rapidly since the Carboniferous, they reached astonishing levels of diversity. Some species grew into true giants. The millipede-like Arthropleura stretched more than 2.5 meters long, creeping through ancient forests. Though these massive arthropods declined as the climate dried, other groups, such as beetles, cockroaches, and early relatives of dragonflies, continued to flourish. While the land was transforming, the seas of the Permian were equally vibrant. Shallow waters hosted coral reefs, sponges, brachiopods, and bivalves. Crinoids, sea urchins, and ammonoids thrived, while early sharks and bony fish filled the oceans with predators of every shape and size. Yet, beneath the surface, trouble was brewing. As volcanic activity released massive amounts of carbon dioxide, oceans began absorbing it, leading to acidification and declining oxygen. For marine life, the countdown to disaster had already begun. By the late Permian, life was thriving in both oceans and on land, but the environment was becoming increasingly unstable. Enormous volcanic eruptions in Siberia spewed gases into the atmosphere, warming the planet and poisoning the air and seas. Forests dwindled, deserts expanded, and once thriving ecosystems collapsed. Synapsids, sauropsids, insects, and corals all were pushed to the brink. The stage was set for the Great Dying, the most catastrophic extinction event Earth has ever known. When it struck, over 90% of marine species and about 70% of terrestrial vertebrates disappeared forever. The mighty Permian world was no more. And yet, out of this unimaginable destruction, new beginnings emerged. Cynodonts and two other survivors would pave the way for the rise of true mammals. Reptiles would diversify into dinosaurs, crocodiles, and eventually birds. The Permian ended in ashes, but from those ashes came the roots of life as we know it. The story of the Permian is a reminder of life's resilience and also its fragility. Our planet has endured cataclysm before, and will again. If you enjoyed this journey through the ancient past, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more explorations into Earth's hidden history. And share this video with a friend who loves prehistory as much as you do. Until next time, keep wondering, keep exploring, and never stop learning.